Nigeria's inflation rate, 23.18%. A lot of drop as regards what happened in the previous month. And then taking a look at what is happening with Binance, delisting 5 different cryptocurrencies. Remember that on the other hand, we are seeing FirstHoldCo, their rights issue got oversubscribed by 25%. The price of cocoa also going bonkers. A lot happening in the market. And that's what we do on Market Weekly, brought to you by Nairametrics Television. My name is Frank Fagbo. Let's start with what is happening with our inflation numbers. We're seeing that Nigeria's inflation rate drops to 23.18% and in February 2025 from 24.8% in January, 24.48%, I beg your pardon, in January of 2025. Here's the breakdown. The food inflation still rose, climbing to 25.51%. And remember that all of this is against the backdrop of CPI rebasing that was done by the NBS, which is the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. A lot of experts attribute the decline to improved agricultural outputs and policy tightening by Central Bank of Nigeria. According to a recent piece by Nairametrics, we're seeing that a lot of economists and experts have predicted that we're going to see further drop in our inflation numbers. Obviously, you know that we're going to keep you abreast as how all of this unfolds. Let's take a look at what is also happening still on inflation. Why all of this matters. We're seeing purchasing power, slower inflation offers a smaller relief for a lot of households and battling with rising prices. Though the price of food still remains high, a lot of Nigerians are asking the question, when will the decline in inflation numbers reflect in the marketplace? That's a big question that a lot of Nigerians are asking, and hopefully let's see whether the next inflation number is gonna answer that question. Let's move on to some other stories. Binance delist 5 coins. What this means for Nigerian crypto traders. We're seeing that Binance, the world's largest crypto exchange, announced the delisting of 5 tokens. First is the OMG tokens, and then the Waves tokens, the WNXM token, and then the ZEM token, that's the XEM, as well as the WTC token. The move comes after a routine assessment of project viability and also the team responsiveness. So there are lots of conversations around the fact that some Nigerian traders who are holding these tokens should make sure that they convert before the set deadline. The news also highlights the importance of due diligence before investing in any crypto currencies at all. Let's move on to some other stories. FirstHoldCo's right issues got oversubscribed by 25%. FirstHoldCo announced a 25% oversubscription of its 150 billion naira right issue as it prepares for a 350 billion naira private placement to further strengthen its capital base. The oversubscription signals investors' confidence in FirstHoldCo's strategy, particularly its growth in the financial services and fintech space. Remember that earlier this year, we saw FirstHoldCo also unveiling its project in the heart of Eco-Atlantic. Perhaps a lot of investors are really confident about their position in the company. Let's move on to some other stories. Federal government offers 300 billion naira in bond reopenings for March. The Debt Management Office reopened 3 federal government bonds with a combined offer of 300 billion naira, targeting both retail and institutional investors. The government is leaning on the domestic debt market to manage financing needs. Many investors taking advantage of what is happening with the FG bonds. Let's move on to some other stories. Right now, we're seeing that Okomu Oil and Presco gets bullish forecast. A lot of analysts have projected a positive 2025 outlook for Okomu Oil and Presco, citing favorable palm oil prices, export potential, and strong financial performance. These agri stocks are gaining a lot of attention in the capital market as inflation hedges and dividend plays out as regards their stocks. Let's see. The sector could benefit from Nigeria's push for non-oil export and what is happening in the agricultural sector. Let's move on to what is happening in the global market. Some of the global market highlights. We're seeing that cocoa prices hit fresh records ahead of Easter. The global cocoa prices has surged due to supply shortfall in West Africa. A lot of chocolate producers may pass the cost down the line of consumers because, hey, what is really happening with the price of cocoa? It's going bonkers. What is really happening with the price of cocoa? It's really going bonkers. A lot of the commodities like cocoa is gradually becoming a hotspot for investors seeking inflation protection and trying to see how they can double their portfolio. Perhaps cocoa is literally giving them a lot of yields as regards the rise in price. Let's shift gears to what is happening with the Feds. We're seeing that investors are bracing up for Fed's preferred inflation metric this week. Perhaps, who knows, those traders who are involved in trading based on the sentiments and the news, many of them are going to be reckoning, many of them are going to be positioned for what happens with the Fed's announcement. The Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, recently signaled patience, suggesting rate cuts won't come prematurely. A lot of investors have their fingers crossed and taking a look at what is really going to happen as regards the rate this time around. Who knows whether we're going to experience some rate cut, but Powell has come out to say that if we're going to experience rate cut, it's not going to be premature. It's not going to be premature. And so be patient, sit back, relax, and see what the market has up its sleeves. Now, let's shift gears to what's happening in the Asian market, especially with Japan. Their currency chief has warned a lot of speculators and said that you should be careful regarding speculating their currency because, hey, a strong USD and the rising interest rate differentials are putting pressure on the Asian currency. Let's move on to what is happening with the US stocks. We're seeing that some decline in the US stocks and also rising oil prices against the backdrop of a weak tech performance for the week. And also remember, the March job report is going to be out. Could this be pivotal in outlining the near-term monetary policy as regards the US market? And then we're going to move on to what is happening in our domestic market, Nigeria's equities market. Let's see what is happening with our NGX. And then let's start with the first trading day of the week. Monday, the 17th of March, was seeing the all-share index. We experienced some slight decline in the market, 0.15% decline in the market. The all-share index closed at 105,799 points. The volumes traded for the day, 477 million shares traded for the day with a market capitalization of 66.34 trillion naira. The value of the number of volumes we had for that day was saying 7 billion naira, valued at 7 billion naira based on the volume. Number of deals, 13,520 deals. Let's take a look at the top gainers for the day. We're seeing Academy featuring amongst its top gainers, 9.92% gains in the market. Nemates also have experiencing some 8.43% gains in the market. And then Tantalizers, 6.83% gains in the market, featuring amongst its top gainers. It's been a long time we've seen Tantalizers featuring amongst its top gainers. Today, Monday seems to be like a great day for them. Look at the top losers. eTransact featuring amongst its top losers, 10% decline in the market. Sunwo Assurance featuring amongst its top losers, 9.92% decline in the market. And then Prestige, 8.26% decline in the market. Tuesday, the 18th of March, we're seeing the all-share index closing at 105,375 points. Market experiencing some 0.4% decline in the market. Second consecutive decline for the week. We're seeing the market capitalization, 66.07 trillion naira. Number of volumes, 349 million shares traded so far, valued at 8.22 billion naira. Number of deals on Tuesday, 11,320 deals. And then we're seeing top gainers, name it, featuring amongst its top gainers, 10% gains in the market. And then NNFMC also featuring amongst its top gainers, 9.99% gains in the market. And then Custodian, 9.69% gains in the market. Let's take a look at those at the bottom of the pyramid as at Tuesday. Boa Cement, 10% decline in the market. Ella Lakes, 4.82% decline. And then Regal Insurance featuring at the bottom of the pyramid as well, 4.41% decline in the market. Look at Wednesday, the 19th of March. We're seeing the all-share index closing at 104,915 points, 0.44% decline in the market, consistent decline. And this is the third trading day of the week, which was on Wednesday. We're experiencing another decline for the week. Market capitalization, 66.7 trillion naira, with a volume of 1.3 billion shares traded for the day. And that is giving us a value of 12.37 billion naira. Number of deals, 12,012 deals. We're seeing the top gainers for the day. Julius Berger featuring amongst its top gainers, 8.47% gains in the market. It's been a long time we've seen Julius Berger featuring amongst its top gainers. Omatech featuring amongst its top gainers, 6.1% gains in the market. As a matter of fact, look at UPDC, 2.69% gains in the market. Some of the top losers, Livestock featuring amongst its top losers, 10% decline. And then E-Transact, another day again. Remember, E-Transact featured amongst the top losers on Monday, and then we're seeing E-Transact amongst top losers again for the day, 9.4% decline in the market on Wednesday. Wapik featuring amongst top losers, 9.27% decline in the market. And then the penultimate trading day, which was 20th of March on Thursday, was seeing marginal drop as trading slows down. The all-share index also experienced some 0.05% decline in the market, with a point with 104,858.77 points. The market capitalization, 65.75 trillion naira. And then the volume traded, 310 million shares traded for the day, valued at 6.24 billion naira. 10,182 deals is what we had for the day. And then the top gainers, CWG featuring amongst its top gainers, 9.64% gains in the market. Veritas Cap also featuring amongst its top gainers, 8.41% gains in the market. Deep Cap, 7.61% gains in the market. And then Livestock featuring amongst its top lives. And then let's take a look at those that featured at the bottom of the pyramid, the top three losers for the day. Livestock featuring amongst its top losers, 9.57% decline in the market. Royal Exchange featuring amongst its top losers, 8.24% decline in the market. And then Custodian, 6.98% decline in the market. Let's take a look at what happened at the final trading day of the week, which was Friday, the 21st of March, 2025. Eventually, we're seeing some gains in the market. What a bullish day, Friday. It was seeing the market experiencing some 0.1% gains in the market, with the all-share index closing at 104,962 points, 0.1% gains in the market. Market capitalization, 65.82 trillion naira, with some volumes, 397 million shares traded, valued at 14 billion naira. Now, the numbers of deals, we're seeing 10,099 deals. Some of the top gainers, Link Insurance, 10% gains in the market. And then we're seeing Livestock featuring amongst the top gainers. Remember, they featured among the top losers on Thursday. But right now, on Friday, the final trading day, we're seeing Livestock, 9.9% gains in the market. Mutual Benefits, 9.84% gains in the market as well. Then top losers for the day, which was the final trading day, 9.91% decline in the market by Red Star Express. And then Len Africa featuring amongst the top losers, 9.85% decline in the market. E-Transact featuring amongst its top losers for the day, 9.43% decline in the market. And that's it from our domestic market here in Nigeria. The NGX, the NGX experienced a lot of decline in the week. We're seeing the only positive day that the market smiled to a lot of investors was perhaps on Friday, was even the final trading day of the week, which we experienced some marginal increase as regards the all share index, making a lot of investors smile to the bank on the final trading day. What are your thoughts about what happened in the markets? And then taking a look at this week was a great week as regards inflation, a drop to 23.18%. What are your thoughts about that? And the FirstHoldCo getting oversubscribed by 25% because the right issue getting oversubscribed by 25%. What are your take? Tell us in the comment section. And that's it on this episode of Market Weekly. I'll see you some other time where we have conversation on the market, from the domestic market to the global market. Stay locked because this is brought to you by Nairametrics Television. And make sure you like, share, and subscribe. My name is Frank Fagbo. Cheers.